Hi everyone, my name is Vendit and you are welcome to the channel. Today we are going to discuss a pullback entry. Okay, so pullback entry is one of the most is part of my trading strategy that it actually is actually very nice. Okay, very good because it helps me to get into the market on a discount zones. Okay, so it's the most juicy kind of trading setup that I do use for price action entry, and it's very cool. So, okay, so before we get to it, please don't forget to do the YouTube business, all right? If you are a returning subscriber, okay, just do the YouTube business. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. We provide every information concerning day trading and to keep you in profit on a consistent basis. So, without further ado, let's get into the chart. Let me explain this in detail, all right? Okay, so if we are talking about pullback, okay, you come to the basic, which is the market structure. You remember market structure, all right? So this is market structure. So what is pullback? Pullback is this, all right? This arrow, okay, this correction phase is what we call pullback. So that's how I come about the pullback entry, all right? So it's a very kind of a juicy part of a trading whereby you tend to to buy from a pullback. It gives you enough room to trade, and then it will actually help you, okay, so that setup one can actually activate. Because if you get into a pullback, if you get a confirmation on pullback, and then you remember trading above the range is our setup one. So if you get another confirmation on setup one, okay, that gives you opportunity to run your trade and then get a higher risk to reward ratio. Okay, so that is the setup. So for you to be able to get a setup on a pullback gives you a whole lot of these to trade. All right, it gives you a whole lot of these to trade from. And then remember, when we talk about trading, okay, there are some basic ways of trading. Okay, so I think the first one is buying from a discount zone. Okay, then another one is continuation. So continuation is our setup one. Then most persons buy from a kind of a test zone, right, where market tends to bounce from. Okay, but I don't actually see this type of setup very valid because you don't know. Okay, you can't be trading based on assumption. Okay, so I love market price. I love price action because you trade off of what you see that the market is doing. So this kind of trading, I don't actually like it. Okay, but it works most of the time. It works for people that practice it very well. Okay, but majorly the one I like most is my setup one. Okay, so but pullback is the one that will give you a high reward ratio when it has to do with trading, and it's a juicy part. It doesn't come always, but when it comes, it's a fantastic one that you really enjoy. Okay, so let me take off of all the drawings. Okay, so that's is typical what a pullback is. All right, so another thing you really need to consider is that in pullback, all right, you try the trading pullback should be coming from a higher time frame. For example, if you are trading 15 minutes, okay, then your pullback, the correction phase should happen maybe probably in 1 hour. Okay, in 1 hour or 4 hours. Okay, the correction of 4 hours, if you get into those kind of pullback, it's going to give you a very sweet move. Okay, before you get to the previous zone where you can be looking at a setup one. Okay, so that's it. So if you are looking at a pullback, it should come from a higher time frame. Okay, it should come from a higher time frame. That's settle it. Okay, if your correction mode is coming from a higher time frame, then the pullback is very sweet because a pullback is always another thing you really need to consider is that pullback is where you get most of the clean LTA. Right, so a pullback always comes with an LTA. So if you get a clean LTA from a pullback, there's higher tendency that you will, when you get into a buy position or get your setup done, all right, you actually drive very faster. Okay, you remember the law of LTA. Okay, the faster, the cleaner the LTA, the cleaner you got the move done. All right, so that's it. So let's get to the chart. Okay, I just like explaining most of these things on current price action. Okay, so that it gives you room to go and backtest it yourself. Okay, it gives you room to go and backtest it yourself. So I'm not here to draw support and resistance and how to go about the whole stuff. Okay, I'm not analyzing chart. So this is what it is. Okay, let's say we take 4 hours. Okay, as our trend. Okay, so we all see, right? We all see that the trend is bearish. Okay, the trend is bearish. That is it. The trend is bearish. So this is one thing you know. The trend is bearish. Okay, you broke structure. We broke structure several times. Broke structure. So this is correction phase. Okay, so we call this a pullback. This is a little pullback. This is a pullback. Right? This was a pullback. Okay, so a clean pullback give you a clean return. All right. Then this is where setup one is. So why I'm going to do this is because there are things I really want to get you to get this concept right. Okay, because after the pullback, what you are looking at is to get setup one in a lower time frame on pullback. Okay, let's take for example. Okay, this is today price action. Right, this is GBP/JPY. Okay, my trade has already run off. Okay, so let's say this was a correction phase from yesterday price action. Okay, so let's go down to 15 minutes. I don't know the section you are trading. This is 15 minutes. Okay, so how do we get into trade? How do we get into trade? One, the way we get into trade is to make sure you get a setup one from a pullback. Okay, so when a pullback, or if you like, you call it a correction move. Okay, this was yesterday price action. We have this move down here, another one. Okay, then this correction move, how will you know? Okay, that should be the major question. How will you know that the pullback is over? The pullback is confirmed over when setup one, okay, has been placed. What is setup one? Okay, a break above a range. Okay, that's setup one. ICT call it a change of character, I think so. But in a lower time frame, you look at a setup one. Okay, so if you look at this trade, this was our setup one. Okay, this was the resistance that was created. Okay, this was the resistance that was created. The candle that breaks below the resistance is this one. So all these were wicks. Okay, that's why I always say don't trade wicks. Okay, you shouldn't be trading wicks. Okay, so the candle that breaks close below the support that was created is this. Okay, so if you get into this, right, this is what confirmed that the pullback is over. Right, so you get into this and it gives you a very nice juicy move from where you get into it to where the setup one was aligned. And if you look at this trade, okay, that's 29 pips. Right, if you look at this trade, setup one now plays itself again, because if you are still on a run on this trade, you will see that, okay, setup one play out. Okay, a candle close below the setup one. All right, so it plays out. So this will help you to leave a runner. Okay, you leave a runner and then you do the approximately on normal setup one, and this will actually multiply your risk to reward ratio. Imagine holding trade till this point. It's about 60 something pips in less than 13 in 2 hours. Okay, so that's it. So this is how correction move, okay, a pullback do work. All right, so it's not that we are trading different things. If you are listening to the channel, you have always hear me say setup one. Okay, so setup one is the thing I do trade all the time. Okay, so even in my setup two is me applying setup one in a lower time frame. Okay, that's what makes setup two. So setup one is the major thing I trade. So this was setup one, and then boom, you get the move. That's it. So I don't need to bring so many examples. Okay, just try this out. If you are using 1 hour for analysis, a pullback on 1 hour, okay, how will you confirm that the pullback is over? Wait for setup one to play out. Okay, so when setup one play out on lower time frame, and that is it. Okay, you got the move. So that's the current price action, and this thing I just explained is actually my today's trend. So that's it. So if you're on uptrend, it's the exact same thing. A trend move, break. This is setup one. Okay, we all know, right? This is setup one, right? Setup one play out, you get into it, that's it. This is a correction move. How do you know that the this thing is over? You wait for setup one to play itself again. That gives you a move upward. Okay, so that's it. That's it. It's as simple as that. Find value in this video. Okay, if you do, don't forget to do the YouTube business, and see you in the next episode.